Whoa.
Whoa. Jesus.
Whoa. Holy God. I just did not think they would go this far.
This is on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
This is
Hell
a
yeah.
Disney show.
That's great. I'm happy. What's going on there, citizens of the Reject Nation? We're going to watch Werewolf by Night today. Say, John, how's it going there, chum?
I'm swell, old top. How are you?
Good. How you doing there, you Irish hooligan?
I don't know lingo from this era, but I can talk in the voice.
Wow, we're going to be hooting and hollering today in our reaction. Hollering like the moon in the night, say.
The whole reaction video.
If you can leave a like today, that'd be great, chums. Also, subscribe and click that notification bell. Like a Catholic boy ringing the bell for the Pope, say. running out of analogies fast.
Flex those gams.
And fooling through extra watch-alongs. You seek them with your own copy for Werewolf by Night, available for our super sexy rejects over at our Patreon page. Oh, you know, follow Koi on TikTok. I'm really resisting doing that.
I heard you started.
Really
I heard the pause.
Try not
15
to.
seconds, 30 seconds.
15 seconds, 30 seconds, 3-minute video, see?
Extra.
That's
Read
how you
all
gotta
about
always
it.
end it.
That's C. That's the only thing that makes it period.
C or chum. Yeah.
And then boys at Prepper, thank you for helping us edit down these highlights. Working
Chums.
hard in the middle of the night, chum.
It's like a robot crawled out of the 1940s, programmed with 5 fun phrases.
Oh yeah, and one thing I did want to mention is that this reaction's in color, but on our Patreon page, just for little poops and giggles, there's going to be a black and white reaction highlights cut for y'all for the patrons if you care about that. Anywho, let's get to it. I found out Michael Gynecologist composed the
He
trailer.
did. We know it's on all of them now forever. Michael Gynecologist did some great work.
Michael Giacchino.
Whoa.
I love this already.
Awesome.
This is what I have been waiting for
This is delightful.
since 2007.
It's alive.
That may be my favorite edit. Like, that's fun.
In our modern world, this is where monsters dwell, alongside those who hunt and slaughter them with pride. None more prolific.
Yeah, there she is.
This weapon is in want of a new master, for Ulysses Bloodstone has died. Tonight is his funeral. Strangers until this night, for a ceremonial hunt which will decide who next will wield the Bloodstone.
It's like House on a Haunted Hill.
For hunters.
House on Hunter Hill.
This is gonna be so cool.
I'm so in.
We can't wait.
The TVA agents mixed with all this is...
Yeah, brilliant.
Is that the Bloodstone?
I like that use of color.
Any of these Hackett beasties your handiwork?
No.
Him I fought a few times. He's never looked so alive.
I wonder if you're up to it. All these years without training.
Without his training.
I did what I could with you.
Shame I didn't turn out.
Don't be too easy on yourself. You were the greatest disappointment of his life.
This is a good funeral.
My spirits are dying.
Over 200 kills collectively. Over 100 deaths.
Over 100? Yeah.
So many death dealers in one room.
Death Dealer.
Oh, my dear heart.
Will Smith from Men in Black.
That's the one.
He orchestrated his presence in other ways. Incorrigible, really.
Oh, good.
I do hope my attendance delights you. The hunter who slays this beast will become our new leader, taking possession of my bloodstone. I'll be rotting for you.
When I die, I want
Yep.
that done to my body.
It's set a new bar.
Forgive my graveyard humor.
My man's got jokes.
I like how the widow knew like everything. She was like, going along.
Yeah.
It is every hunter for themselves.
Fascinating. Goes without saying, the music in this is amazing.
And he's
Yes.
yeah. And my dude's from Westworld.
Off you go. And now,
We're gonna play marbles. It's Squid Game.
Marvel meets Squid Games, hey? He hunts like he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, it's odd for 100. And they said 100 deaths, not 100 kills. I'm wondering if that's a thing.
He hunts like a person lost in a maze.
Yeah.
I suggest we just pass each other by.
What?
I suggest we just pass each other by.
Jesus.
Ouch. Ouch. That's how women fight.
That Black Widow. Yeah. You got Moxie, kid.
I thought Jack would be like the main character, but it feels like Elsa is.
She, to me, has always been a bigger character in the comics, but I don't know if that's just perspective.
It's actually like a really cool sensory experience.
Yeah, it feels.
Yes. Nicely done. Psycho.
Dang. I was gonna say you could do more blood too, because it's black and white.
Oh, yeah. The wire work is so good.
No, Westworld. My ex.
That man's a terrible hunter.
I know.
Right there. She did video game hiding. Wow, I didn't even really notice that.
Yeah. Ooh.
But no, it's got such a great grip on like the atmosphere and the sound design.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch this again, like around Halloween, lights out.
No, I think a lot of lights and commentary is the way to do it.
I think I'm getting a full experience right
I
now.
don't think we have enough lights on it.
We should just a little underlight.
Whoa!
Yeah. Oh, my
That's
heart.
great.
Man thing.
Are you okay? Well, you keep saying that you're gonna be careful each time, and here we go again. You can't keep counting on me to save you. This is the last time.
Oh, that's a cool reveal.
It's weakening you, right? These little things explode. So we're gonna explode our way out of here. All you have to do is don't die. I'm gonna figure out where to put this, and I'll come get you. I'll find you. I don't know.
I'm going to talk louder. Now his performance at the beginning makes more sense. more of a sense of urgency, Elsa.
I mean, a little bit.
No.
Sure.
If you help me get the monster out of here alive, I can get you the stone.
Have a quick chat with him, sort it out. 'Cause you're what? The monster's friend?
It must be complicated to grow up with his family.
You have no idea about my family, none.
I don't. They follow us. They stay like they become an atmosphere. I don't know. It's complicated.
John likes his family.
Yeah, it's still an atmosphere, though. They still follow you around.
What are you doing?
When I was a kid, my dad used to tell me stories about my crazy Aunt Frances.
Yeah.
She was positive that she'd come back from the dead at some point, and she knew that when she did, she'd need... Well, that's not bad. An exit strategy.
Bury me with my keys.
My name is Jack, by the way.
Okay, Jack, you blow the wall, I'll get him to you.
Okay, I trust you. I'm trusting you, okay?
Just get me the stone, we're good. Then you're on your own.
And then I'll kill you on the spot.
I like that they got a Latino actor for this, man. That's great.
Cross me and I'll kill you both.
Okay. Hey, when you run into him, just treat him like an old friend. Call him by his name.
Which is?
Ted.
Teddy. Theodore.
I really like the pairing of them.
Yeah.
Hey!
Yes!
Oh, dang!
Ted.
Ted? Your friend is waiting for you.
Oh, they did such a good job with Man Thing.
Oh my. No! You're gonna have to shove it in there.
Looks like Natasha and the Hulk.
Yeah. Sing him a lullaby. Put it in the crack.
It's come on, guy.
He wasn't a monster.
Just misunderstood. Oh no.
Time to wolf out, man. Come on.
Yeah.
The Bloodstone did this to you?
He grabbed it, and it threw him back.
My word.
Just wolf out. Come on.
I can't wait to find out what breed of evil you are.
None of you should have the stone.
The hunt decides!
Oh.
I would never hurt you or hurt anyone. Any hunting that I do is done by a part of me that is not me. And that's not the part you're with right now.
Dude, he is great.
Yeah.
Because I lock myself in once a month, every full moon. That's it. And the next full moon is in 5 days. We have plenty of time to figure something out.
4 days later.
The Bloodstone's capable of transforming you in 5 seconds. Thanks in advance for making it quick.
You could be on that wall.
Yeah, man. Wall of Fame.
So if this is gonna happen, I need you to look at me, okay? Do not break eye contact, no matter what.
What are you talking about? What are you doing?
Learn her scent.
And this is what?
I need to remember you.
Well, does it work?
Once.
Oh.
Please don't do this. Not this way. Just kill me as I am. Otherwise, there will be no mercy, I promise.
Ugh.
She's Dr. Doom.
Confirmed.
Victoria Von Doom.
It's time for you to show yourself. Tenebris, tenebrae,
This is wonderfully eerie.
constrictam.
Dang. Yes.
Oh, that's great.
Classic. Don't look away.
Yes.
You're stuck in here with me.
Me. Yeah. I was like, I will kung fu them.
I'm ready to kung fu werewolf.
Judo chop. These guys really do look like TVA.
Whoa, I didn't notice it.
So cool.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Dang.
He's gonna kung fu him.
Whoa! Damn!
Damn, Mike Tyson.
Damn! I don't care if it's in black and white. That's still
That was
That's
awesome.
brutal. Damn.
Yeah? No, the black and white's getting us a lot more blood.
Elsa Bloodstone.
Dang!
That guy's had a shitty night.
That guy has. Not Blade has.
Damn.
Dude, the movement
He's-
is so good.
Oh man, the TVA is just breaking through here. Oh my god! This is so much more violent than I expected.
Oh, what a cool device, too.
Oh, that is great.
No mercy.
Whoa!
Whoa.
Jesus Christ. Whoa. Holy God. I just did not think they would go this far. On a Disney.
This is on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
This is
Hell
a
yeah.
Disney show.
That's great. I'm happy. did buy those Netflix shows.
It's different.
Am I a monster? Jack. Call him Jack, not Wolfie.
It's a nice name.
Jack, you still in there?
No.
Oh, I think he's done such a great job on capturing that tragedy element.
Yeah. No.
Elsa! You let it go!
Oh my God, you're still alive?
Kill your mom.
You will now die as you lived. A disgrace to your father's memory and the hallowed Bloodstone name!
Oh, Ted.
Feel the fear. Awesome.
He went that way.
He stepped over him.
Take the coat.
I only wanted to make myself available to you.
Brilliant, you can stop clearing all this shit up.
Oh, cool.
Yes.
Nice.
WandaVision. Somewhere over the rainbow. That's great. This is color conversion. They shot this in black and white.
That's right.
Yeah, because you can see the colorization.
Yeah.
It looks cool.
Went from a 30s movie to a 70s, like Werewolf by Night.
Perfect.
Damn, look how great
He's
that looks.
incredible.
That looks
Nice.
great.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Thanks, Ted. Thanks, Mom.
This is one of the best things Marvel's done. This is so good.
This is great.
Is she okay? Good. That's good.
Hey, he's got a guitar.
What? No. No, I'm the one who comes to your rescue. What are you talking about? Man, I can't think of food right now. Let's do sushi. I owe you that. Yes. Yeah, you choose.
Grab that guitar. Play us a little Coco.
Oh, it's so special.
Oh, you guys.
That was incredible.
I loved that so much.
I
Well
was
done.
so worried when I saw the runtime for this that it was going to be a rushed mess.
That was the exact amount of
And I
time.
was like, this is actually really well paced and really well executed, and it's awesome all around.
That was so special.
Let's look out for credits, Easter eggs.
Love these credits too.
Let's get Jake the Goat. Come on. Put Blade in here.
Just his voice.
This is like an old school Rob Rodriguez thing to me.
Yeah.
Shot, chopped, and scored.
Hey, Robert
Michael Giacchino.
Michael Giacchino.
What a directorial debut, man. That was incredible. Like, that's up there with Shang-Chi for, like, top tier Phase 4. Like, that was... I loved that.
That was beautiful, yeah.
This reminded me a lot of Shang-Chi.
When I think about Shang-Chi, I think about this tone, this atmosphere.
She's great.
Yeah, I'm really impressed because Elsa Bloodstone's not an easy character.
And huge respect to Harriet Sansom Harris for holding this thing down.
And like great casting all around.
All around, I agree.
I think
Sarah Haley Finn, man.
riffing on like the 20s, 30s horror movies was such a brilliant idea. That was brilliant. And I feel like it still makes it, you'll appreciate it more if you like were a fan of those, but if you even
if you're not,
weren't,
you're
still I think there's still lots of
and that's the
get from it.
runtime. Like I felt like that was the right runtime because it felt like those old movies. Like the 30s Man Wolf is like 48 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
When's the embargo in this? I want to talk about it.
We didn't watch this early.
I mean, I will talk about it now.
Leonardo
We
Nam.
watched.
I
It was
will-
Leonardo Nam, yeah?
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
catch the other woman's name though. Damn.
I was like, he looks so much buffer.
Yeah, you got to get that Marvel bod even if you're gonna die.
Here's in more than one season of Westworld. You would know that if you watched Westworld.
I
You didn't
know.
watch
I didn't
more
watch
than one
Westworld.
season of Westworld.
Leonardo, since you're watching, I'm really sorry. Thanks for being so
apologizes.
cool that one time we got to work together.
Couldn't even recall his name.
I knew his name. I just didn't want to
Saying
say
that
it
one
just
guy
in case.
from Westworld.
Because I figured you would go, not everybody knows who Leonardo Nam is, so I was just taking the shortcut to who he is.
Oh, see, I would have said he would have been like, "Oh, not every Asian guy is you racist, Leonardo Nam." That was what I was ready for, so I didn't say it.
I was ready for both.
You know, it's one thing if I make fun of you guys, but when you guys make fun of me, it hurts and it's personal.
I'm sorry.
And I'm going to change the whole vibe of this room in 5 seconds.
He'll do it. Don't make him.
Next time, I'm just going to point and shout, Asian actor! Asian actor! I know him.
You're making fun of me for how I make fun of you.
Greg feels specifically called out for calling us out. What is this?
I'm the real victim here.
How the turntables.
Us poor bullies getting bullied for being bullied.
How the turntable.
How the turntables.
How the turntables turn.
The tables have turned.
Ah, see?
Betrayal.
A deceit. Ah, yes.
Now you know what it's like to be a white guy. You make fun of people, so they make fun of you, then you're uncomfortable. Here we are.
I'm the victim for being in the majority.
Yeah, I'm right here being the cause of the problem, victimhood.
That was so clever with the special thanks to Brad Bird, huh?
Hey.
Oh, cool.
And Anthony Giacchino.
With that was so smart with Somewhere Over the Rainbow doing a direct Wizard of Oz callback. That was great. All right, let's chitty chatty. All right, Coy, where would you rank this in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
It's about 13, 14, Greg. No, that was incredible. I did immediately say that when it ended. I'd say this is in that top third Marvel, all Marvel for me. This was exceptional. It was original. It was inventive. It was what I've been missing about, and I don't disparage Phase 4 as much as many, but like this is what I was missing was something that felt bold, that didn't sacrifice the integrity of the MCU. The use of this Elseworld feel, like I could see Man-Thing jumping in something tomorrow, but it also didn't feel like it was sacrificing the characters. You can do both, and a lot of the Phase 4 things, when they've done something really bold, felt like it sacrificed the character. That was Elsa Bloodstone. That was Werewolf by Night. That was the 70s, but I don't feel like it hurt anything else in its journey. That was such a unique piece of art. I loved that so much.
Yeah, I loved it, especially with... Because I love those Universal monster movies. I think they're fantastic. And what the most important aspect that I think modern day movies often miss about when they try to adapt those things is the emotional, tragic side. Because so much of what makes those monsters great from the past, what you're talking about, like Frankenstein, is probably the most obvious answer. Like you pointed out, he's misunderstood. If you watch like Bride of Frankenstein, you're like, he's just a misunderstood guy. He's not actually like this horrifying being, you know. And that's the big part of what I thought they captured so well, with, you know, with the Werewolf by Night. And in the Man-Thing as well, it's like there's this fear of loneliness involved with it. And I thought, like, oh, that's so great that quality, more than just aesthetically pleasing, of looking at those old school horror films, he captured the mood and what, you know, the external fear of what the creature is a manifestation of a lot of the things internally that these monsters go through. And I thought that was so present with our two main monsters here, Man-Thing and the werewolf. So I thought it was excellently done and also just wonderfully composed in all aspects of sound design, and didn't go too far. Like the trailer really went like full tilt grindhouse with the 30s flair to it. But this movie the special was shot. It felt like a full feature. But this special, I'm just gonna call it a movie.
Yeah.
It was shot modern, like with a modern day like framing. Because, if this was like really old school, it'd be a lot of like wide 2 shots.
Here is our set.
There's not as much like cutting back and forth and a lot more editing and moving shots, Like they have that. There is, but especially the horror movies, they did a lot more editing and a lot more angles than like just a drama or any of those other talkies, But this was excellent. I thought it really captured the spirit and still, what's the word? Not digestible, attainable for audiences.
Palatable?
Yeah, that works. They all work. All the words work.
Words.
Every adjective is good.
Yeah, you can still. I still feel like an audience can still get on board for this, even if they didn't grow up on those movies or weren't a big fan. In fact, it might click better just because of its cool modernness to it.
Well, yeah, it blends really well both tones together. And you said House on Haunted Hill, and I think back to that movie often, and that movie has, like a distinct cast of characters, a distinct group of people you're following, but so do superhero movies. And like that's a convergence point you wouldn't necessarily think of, but then you see this and you're like, oh, cool, we got the perfect gallery of eccentric hunters and whatnot to populate this, which feels very akin to the now, but very akin to then in its own way. Maybe less outlandish back in the day, but still unique in its characterizations. And yeah, this managed to have all the charms of a comic book, and I liked the lightness of the fact that Jack and Ted are just buds and they're just kind of us against the world and we're just kind of really good natured. Like that coda at the end is really nice because it is so sweet to temper everything else. And I loved the build up then that comes before all that. And I thought everybody who showed up as the hunters did a great job. I thought Verussa, especially Harriet Sansom Harris, was terrific, kind of leading the charge of the opposition, basically your sort of antagonists that you're up against effectively, who you at first kind of are led to believe are your protagonists. I thought it managed to have the appropriate amount of oomph in the horror aspects and in the, again, blood gags and stuff, in some of the violence that you can hide a little bit in the black and white so that you can have more of your cake and eat it too.
That earbite, though. That was still like, wow, that was one of the most violent things I've seen in the MCU.
And that
ripping off a ear like that.
Yeah, and the throat slice on the ground, the sword to the head. Like
the choreography on this was incredible. Like I really loved the fights. I loved how they had Elsa Bloodstone moving. She had like a really cool like low center of gravity where she like flung herself with her legs and like used her body weight. Like there was a lot of like Krav Maga. Like there was so much of like if you're a hunter, you are going to have to use your strengths. And like they really made it so it felt like she had a lot of history with hunting these things that were larger than her, that like she used her body as a weapon. And Elsa Bloodstone is a really interesting character in the comics where she's got this like aggressive sass. And I literally was thinking in the last 5 minutes, the only thing I wish they'd had her been able to do is swear more. And then they get like they got like a shit in at the end. And I was like, correct. Because like in the comics, she's just like all like when you swear in a comic book, it's all like those symbols and letters. She just swears. And I was like, man, that's one thing I wish we had. And then they gave that to me. There's a really fun run of Deadpool actually where Deadpool decides that he's the king of the monsters. Like he just takes it on himself. He's like, I'm gonna run this monster island for you guys, and decrees himself a monster. And then Elsa Bloodstone, who hunts monsters but is also sympathetic towards them, kind of like has a weird on and off again, will they, won't they, in Deadpool's mind with her, but in her mind she's like, this is gross. And it's a really fun like how perception is between characters, and you see how she's characterized in the world of monsters, and there's just a lot of really fun, arrogant control without her being an arrogant character, and I thought they nailed that really well. Like this felt like Elsa Bloodstone, that's not an easy character to walk. And then I think the casting of Gael Garcia Bernal, he gave so much heart and empathy and soul to Werewolf by Night, which is what the character is. You need to want to root for him. And that speech in the cage, like Greg pointed out, like that was such a moment of, oh my God, I care about this guy so much that I'm worried for him and through her. And that experience was so 20s, 30s, 40s monster movie through 70s comic. And then the landing with Man-Thing, they also set up geniusly that Man-Thing, he and her now with the stone could pop up in an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Like they said that the age thing. So when they aged up the time through that last coda, like this was such an A for me. Like it's everything I want from the comic, everything I want from a movie, and it fits in the MCU.
Well, I think they did something really clever to tie this to the MCU, which was the inclusion of the TVA, like the TVA being part of like willing to like treating this ritual like it's some type of necessity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where because I mean you do have that line from Owen Wilson in Loki. When
You mentioned the vampires.
You mentioned the vampires. Yeah.
And the Department of Nightmares.
I do think I heard a rumor that they did try to get not Wesley Snipes, Mahershala. They tried to get Mahershala.
That would have been confusing.
That would have been cool. Yeah, like what is going on here?
First.
Timelines.
Yeah, they did want to get Blade in here, so I thought that was smart because it does tie it into the multiverse quality, like or Elseworlds, as you were saying earlier.
But it doesn't have to, which I like.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it also did the thing, like I think Winter Soldier, one of the reasons I think Winter Soldier is right up there near the top, if not the top of my MCU, depends on the day, is it is an espionage movie that happens to have comic characters in it. This was a monster movie that happens to have comic characters in it. If you've never read Werewolf by Night, if you don't know who Elsa Bloodstone is, which is probably most of you, this will still feel like a movie. And that's so special. And that's what I feel like I've been missing from things like the Doctor Stranges and Thor 4s. Like, they don't feel like their own thing, nor do they feel like the characters to me.
Part of me was like, if Sam Raimi had done Multiverse of Madness in black and white, might have been able to get away with that fight scene that came out.
Oh,
on
that was such
social
a cool
media.
fight scene.
Yeah.
The one where Scarlet Witch wasn't using her magic powers to go pew, pew, pew.
She cut off that guy's head and
'Cause she
used just a
uses
corpse.
magic.
Yeah, I was like, oh man, there's no way this would have gotten away in a PG-13
No, I see why
film.
that got cut.
Yeah, it made sense why it got cut. But I'm like, maybe if it was in black and white, might have been able to get away with it.
This also reminded me of the Neil Gaiman and Guillermo del Toro tried to make a Doctor Strange movie set in the 20s. And that was going to be, like, before Scott Derrickson signed on, they pitched a period piece, Doctor Strange.
That's what our nostalgia period is going to be now.
20s.
The
But,
20s.
Like, but can you imagine? Can you
Roaring
imagine?
20s. All our soups are buying stocks.
But imagine Doctor Strange in this. Imagine
That would've been great.
a Ghost Rider. Like any of the Midnight Suns in this would be so special.
I mean, John, you could probably speak a lot to this as well. Is that because you said it in the 20s, or what? I mean, aesthetically, you said it in that kind of time period, 20s to 40s, right?
Yeah, I'm not a historian. I'm sorry.
So you said it in that kind of time period. You can actually get away with a lot more of moments that could feel campy. If it's like some violence or some shots that you in color might feel student filmy, but because it's in this aesthetic, you're like, nah, but it works. It just always works because of the fact that it's this aesthetic. So yeah.
Yeah, it lends itself to both the dark tones and the lighter tones, which I think is nice in a way that doesn't rest too hard. Like, the promo does make you go, oh, this looks like a more Grindhouse, like the movie Grindhouse style experience, where it looks like it will kind of lean on those nicks and those mistakes. And it doesn't do that so much, but it does use the tone, to create a sort of natural kind of back and forth between the things that are darker that then make you go, oh, dang, I wasn't expecting that, and then the things that are light and fun. Yeah.
Well, I think the trailers make you think that it might go more aggressive horror. And I could see a version where audiences are a bit let down by this because of the fact that it doesn't really push that aggressive type of just chaotic horror the way the trailers were sort of presenting it as.
It was way less chaotic than the trailer, yeah.
No, but it had that melancholic somberness about its characters. Again, that is very much like those older films. And I think if you have any kind of awareness for that, you'll see like, no, that this is actually the more apt way to make this if you're going for that type of style overall. And I also, we got to really appreciate, too, the fact that they, other than like Man-Thing, they really went practical.
Yeah.
With a lot of designs. Like
seeing Werewolf first time, I was like, they did it. They made him.
That's what was great about putting, because in color, I'm wondering what it'll translate in color. They're probably going to have to really update some of the edginess and the shadowing for the werewolf. But in terms of you put him in a costume, like it just looks like a guy in a werewolf costume. And it works for this version. Yeah, it's so classic, and I like how they did kind of give him a bit of a fighter build.
Yeah.
You know,
I love how he moved too. I love that they gave him like a boundingness. I love like his spine seemed to elongate where he could move. Like
Yes.
they really did a lot of incredible practical body work. And I was even saying during one of the fights earlier, like I love the dichotomy when he was human, how stiff he moved. Like when they were talking, Elsa had this fluidity. She had this like I'm a fighter in this mode. He doesn't fight when he's not a werewolf. And I love that he looked kind of stiff. He couldn't quite navigate the world, even in addition to the fear and the way he wasn't good at hunting, which we noticed immediately. With the way he physically moved was like someone that didn't know how to use their body. And then she was like, yeah, I got this.
Well, he had this, he had a bit of that acrobatic martial artist approach to it, but it never went too they didn't become like Underworld or some shit. Like it still maintained being a werewolf.
Yeah.
And I thought that was awesome. There's so much awesomeness about what the
David Silverman's work as the Flaming Tuba.
I love how contained it was.
Well, and two, I appreciated that they give you the opportunity now. They did a classic shadow transformation. You see like a close up on his hand, but you know, werewolf movies throughout their history have a number of different motifs that I think you're still kind of able now to anticipate the next time we see Werewolf by Night. Because part of me was going, okay, are we going to do the sort of Rick Baker, like full-on, we're going to watch it happen transformation? And not that I ever really expect them, like the next Werewolf by Night thing, to do like a full-on practical werewolf transform. But we have that to look forward to at least. What is it going to look like when we actually watch it head on, that transformation?
But I think the reaction of Elsa Bloodstone
that was
stronger.
Cool.
No, 100%. I think they did it the right way here, and I think again the shadow transformation is so classic, and I think playing that against a reaction is a lot more effective, especially for your first time, than just seeing the transformation up close.
Yeah.
And Man-Thing's powers were so cool, like especially in black and white, to see that fear, that power in him, and he felt so powerful. Like there was a really cool weight to him, which we haven't seen in a lot of CGI characters lately. Like I felt like in color and black and white, there was an actual Man-Thing. Like there was a presence to that character, which felt like I cannot wait to see him again.
The one aspect of this that I still feel like they could have done in the scripting that I did find myself kind of craving a tad more of was the other hunters. You could have kept the same amount of screen time. It's just the dialogue given. I think you could have done something to really make everyone feel more unique, a distinct personality.
Only the Scotsman really got.
It was only the Scotsman, yeah.
And then everyone
he was Scottish.
Everyone else is
his
cast
personality.
For a look.
Yeah.
Personality Scottish. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like if you can't give them a cool weapon or something like that. I mean, they all got like somewhat of a cool weapon. It's give them some type of personality to really make you stand out in some way. Other than like that's the Asian one, that's the black one, that's the Scottish one,
Kung Fu, arm, arrow, and axe.
Yeah, but no, it was great. I think and it was a solid runtime.
Yeah, that hour was perfect. I think. Like I want now that we've had our first special edition, I'm even more excited for the next and the Guardians and like what we do with our holiday specials. This is our Halloween. We got a Guardians Christmas coming up.
That's true. Yeah,
that's around the corner.
Halloween special, then Guardians special.
Yeah, we're like 6 weeks out. Like this is moving and grooving. So I think it's really special that we have the Marvel Universe. This is like what I used to defend with Marvel putting out a lot of stuff, is that this is a special and it is unique to itself, but it all fits in the MCU. And I've said that 3 times in this review, but I want more things that work like this. And if that means specials instead of movies or instead of shows, yes, please. This was ideal.
Yeah.
100%. Hundo P.
Anything else you want to add on before we close out, John?
No, I think we're good.
First appearance of Moon Knight was in Werewolf by Night, so if you enjoyed this, check out some Werewolf by Night comics, and definitely check out Elsa Bloodstone.
I believe there was and I think it was the second episode. There was like a bus. On the top of the bus, it had a reference to the comic number that he appeared
Oh, did
in.
you see that? Was that in here?
No.
Oh, in Moon Knight. I was like, I didn't even see a bus.
No, yeah. No, Moon Knight, yeah, I think that was a very specific Easter egg.
I was definitely checking
I'm
the
recalling
names.
that correctly.
I was checking the names on the tombstones in that mausoleum, and the closest one, I think there was one next to her mom or her aunt or whatever, that looked like it might have been a reference to Wendigo, but I couldn't quite discern it.
I love this maze too. Like, there's so many things I would love to see the breakdown or just to go back over and pour over this for to see what other movies they took from.
Yeah.
Because I got, not that Most Dangerous Game has a maze necessarily, but I got kind of that vibe too. And yeah, just like this classic Gothic estate that has like these sprawling grounds and yeah, this like very specialized garden maze of sorts. Like, so many great classic tropes.
I just want to live
well.
some love to Michael Giacchino, like what he was able to do with composing and building a world. And you notice you pointed out the atmosphere. I want him to. I mean, I don't want him to stop composing. So please just have more time in your life. But like, I want more from him because this was such a really impressive debut, and I love his use of tone. And I think his being a composer of that repute really established he can build a world. Like, I could feel this world immediately, and I think that came from the strength of him being able to build worlds through music.
They did the music too for this.
Yeah, he did the music.
Because yeah, it's so like I love that too, that they really leaned into classic strings and horns and all that stuff.
I mean, he probably did his best work on this one.
Oh
like,
yeah, man.
This is gonna be because he really had control of the narrative.
Yeah.
So
well, you could probably hear it while he was shooting it. You know what I mean? Like, I
exactly.
imagine his brain was processing
the way how like you have directors like Edgar Wright or Tarantino who often film their scenes around the soundtracks they want to use. He probably
his brain was doing that in real time. Like, he was just like, this is what it feels like.
Composing, while just hearing the score.
And that's so unique, and it felt it.
That's probably how he was able to really help establish an emotion too, even with such a short runtime. I think.
I agree, because I felt every minute of this, and it all felt right.
Love those theremin sounds.
All right, guys, are you excited for the werewolf and Man-Thing to return, and when they really up the comedy on their adventures in the future?
They make a buddy cops.
I'm really excited for that
funny
Man-Thing lawyer show.
A lot of self-aware jokes about being werewolves.
Am I a man-thing or a thing man?
Thing bad.
Judd Apatow is Man-Thing coming soon.
You know there's gonna go ahead,
Are you
Marvel.
called Man-Thing because you got a big man thing?
Pretty excited for I Love You Man-Thing.
That's
am
great.
too.
They're gonna bromance them up
It's
so
gonna be
much.
so much
I
bromance.
cannot wait.
Bro-man things.
Bro-man things.
I do want one thing I'll say is I do want because I know you were really appreciative of the Elsa Bloodstone fighting. For me was like in the future, if it worked this time around, but I would want a little bit more of a distinct style to her fighting.
So you didn't think she had a distinct style?
Not really. I mean,
feel like
this is usually how they choreograph women in fight scenes.
But there wasn't any CGI. Like, they actually let her fight. So
no,
that was
what I liked. And it wasn't like a bunch of like freaking like when she does takes them down. Like, I like how the flips were in like one shot and there was good choreography. And when she does like wrap her legs around,
it all felt more
like you could keep it in camera versus like cut, which I like. I think the way captured wise was different. Choreography wise, I want something that really has a distinct style of. It's like they found a distinct style for the werewolf, which is easier to lean into because you got an actual monster. But for her, it's also Bloodstone. You fight her character. I would like them to see what different thing they can do. The way they found it for Cap and Winter Soldier, like they didn't find it for him in the first one, but in Winter Soldier, they're like, we got to find style for Captain America now.
Yeah.
And I think they could do that for Elsa Bloodstone.
Shout out to Ninja Brewski, the stunt guy for Captain America, who is also Daredevil stunt double for the hallway fight. Great guy.
Oh,
Chris Brewster, buddy of mine.
Awesome to hear. All right, guys, we'll leave your thoughts down below. Subscribe, click that bell, follow Coy on the Coy Jandro Show on TikTok.
That's what I call it.
The Coy Jandro Show.
Coy's Comic Corner isn't narcissistic enough, so I call my TikTok the Coy Jandro Show.
Come to the Coy Jandro Show, see? Extra.
Flaming tubas. Just after I've
after
my third Mexican pizza, flaming tubas.
Yep.
All right, guys.
I hear that.
We'll see you all soon. Thank you, guys.